Okay, I'm going to take a look at Miguel's game here. He's the guy in the green shirt. Also plays in Austin. Here he's playing a tournament match against Chirac. Let's look at the drive serve real quick. Just look at the mechanics of the drive serve. So far, I mean, this athletic stance and it's balanced. It looks awesome. So I like everything so far. He looks back at Chirac before serving. He's getting his elbow up nice and high, his racket's up. He's watching the ball. So everything looks good until the contact point. So this all looks good, but there's some this little motion right here, this wrist snap, is something that you'll just have to work on. It's going to be part of getting to a higher level. When you contact the ball, you're actually slicing it upward, so you're not hitting the ball flat. Everything looks perfect until you hit the ball and then you slice it. So how do you adjust for that? Well, I'd practice. I do a lot of practice where I just drop hit out of my hand, and all I'm trying to do is contact the ball flat on the front wall. And you can eliminate a lot of the other steps. So you can eliminate like your feet and your hips and all that stuff because everything else looks good. And just work on getting that wrist snap to where as you come through the ball's completely perpendicular to the floor and the ball's flat. And you'll start to hear a difference and you'll feel a difference. So you'll see the ball coming in to the front wall straight. And I think that's just going to be a general thing. It's something that higher level players do, is they're able to hit the ball more flat at the contact point than this. You see what I'm talking about right there? So your racket face is pointing a little bit upwards. And then the follow through, there's another thing going on with the follow through. So the follow through, your arm is like not really coming all the way around. You're kind of holding up your follow through. So let that follow through come all the way through a little bit stronger. Okay. Let's look at some more play. Yeah, so same thing. Right there. So you didn't hit the sweet spot on the contact point. So that's another thing. See, the ball is just like on the lower end of the racket. It's not directly in the middle. So a way to help that, same thing I talked to Chirac about actually, is just watching the ball hit the strings, and then you'll start to be more consistent. And again, that drill that I was talking about before, just wrist snapping the ball into the wall and trying to make sure that you're making a good clean contact with the wrist net. That looks like, of all of the components of the swing, it looks like your legs are good, your hips are good, your arm and your elbow is in a good position. It's just this part right here where your swing kind of falls apart, and you see how it doesn't follow through flat, but the racket is turning over downward at a high rate. That, if you can clean that up, it'll make your swing so much smoother, so much stronger. I like the footwork. I like how you're trying to, crawl your way back into center court there. I love this athletic starting position. Can you see the effect of the slice here? So when you hit the ball, if you're slicing the ball, if you were hitting the ball flat, it would go straight into the front wall. It wouldn't go from down to up or up to down. It just goes straight in and out. So if you're looking at this ball come, it's going from low to high on the wall. You see that? So that's a sign that you're hitting it with a upward slice. If you can get that flat, there's going to be so much more power behind that ball. Not to mention, consistency and everything. Okay, the lob serve looks pretty good. It looks like you hit a lob nick. Unfortunately, I can't see the back left corner, but it looked like a pretty good lob serve. I like what you did there. You went for the ceiling ball, you just missed it. I like that movement a lot. So you just shuffled over, you hit a defensive shot, you shuffled back in the center court. So this was more of this was an offensive opportunity for you. So if you want to play at a higher level, like this could definitely be a shot that ends the rally. But you're going defensive with it. So Shiraz out of position, you got to set up off the back wall. So what would I be looking to do here? So far so good, but I would be looking at this ball and saying, I'm going to put this away. This is my setup. I only get so many setups, every rally if I'm lucky, and I got to take those opportunities. So I'm looking to put this ball away. Most likely, the best choice is going to be down the line based on Shiraz's position here. So Shiraz over to the left. So basically you want to hit a nice clean shot down the line right here. This is, you really don't want to be defensive. You want to move past this, overly defensive and passive play if you want to get into a higher tournament level. I love your footwork moving back and into the ball. I love your footwork fighting for center court. Your footwork, you went up, you came back. That's really exciting to see. Okay, I talked to Sharath about the same thing, but your serve return. I guess this is a lob serve, so it's okay. But your serve return starting position is pretty far forward. What happened in this rally? Let's see. So you go for a defensive shot, you go for a ceiling ball. It looks like it's not a bad ceiling ball, but Sharath's able to put it away. It's not bad. I mean, you're playing percentages. Sharath had to roll that ball out, basically. So I could live with that. As you get more advanced, want to be more aggressive in with taking less ceiling balls and using more of those shots as offensive opportunities. It always helps when your opponent hits himself in the head. That makes it a lot easier. Okay. Here's another one. So your serve did the job. Remember the point of the serve is to try to get an offensive opportunity or a setup, right? That should be your main goal, more so than thinking about trying to ace them. So here you got a good opportunity. You got a setup. Your racket's up. You got back a little bit. You're moving forward in the ball. Your backhand mechanics look pretty good. The only thing I don't like so much is where you actually ended up hitting the ball relative to your body. So you end up hitting the ball behind you, like really far behind you. So the only option you have from that spot is to go into the left wall, really. So I think that's more of a misjudging the ball kind of thing. And I think this will just come with more experience. As you play more and more, you'll be able to read where the ball's coming a little bit better. And the second part of that is getting back a little bit further. So shuffling back, you did shuffle back a little bit here. There's a little bit of a shuffle back and then a shuffle forward into the ball. That's good. But if you can do more of that on this kind of setup, like maybe 2 big steps back and 2 big steps forward into the shot, that will help you make sure that the ball is in your strike zone. Right now, you misjudged and the ball landed outside of your strike zone. So talked about the same thing with Sharath a moment ago. All right, let's see what else. Looks like you're going for like a jam, wrap serve, and it worked. I mean, you jammed Sharath. Definitely want to work on that serve, like getting it to come around. Like if it's going to be a wrap, you probably want to get it to come all the way over to the right wall, or if it's going to be a jam, it's a little bit of a different serve. This one's somewhere in between, but it ends up working. I just really love your footwork. I mean, for the level of play that you're at, your footwork's really exciting to see. It's very athletic. I'm not to say that you can't make big improvements with it as far as, taking the right steps, but, overall the balance and everything, it's obvious that you're a very athletic guy and you'll be able to really pick this up quickly. You just want to make more of those defensive shots. I think that's like the second time in this clip that you missed a ceiling ball. So it's just consistency. I mean, you're going to have to practice ceiling balls from the back left corner and serve returns. Because you can't give them this. You can't give them many of those shots. I'd really like to see you start to be more offensive on some of these serve returns. Like this one, he basically missed his serve. So any serve that's coming off the back wall, you really don't want to try to take that to the ceiling. I mean, that's your opportunity to shoot that ball and get him out of the service box. So he misses his serve. It comes off the back wall. And this is similar to the one over on the forehand where you went for a ceiling. I think it just might be that you're in a tournament and you want to play it safe. You don't want to make mistakes. But this kind of play is going to be too passive to work at a higher level. Like you're going to need to make him pay for that mistake. He hit a bad serve, and so this one you're really going to want to put it away. What shot should you hit in this position? Well, Sharath's really far forward. He's in front of the dotted hash line, so a pass is going to be your best option. You probably have a nice clear line down the line, so you're going to want to be looking to take these shots as a down the line pass. Alternatively, I mean, this one's just screaming down the line. You don't really have to hit any other shot other than down the line here. In general, if the guy's in front of you, you want to be looking to pass him. If the guy's behind you, you can still pass him, but you'll be looking for pinches and stuff like that. You want to be more aggressive. I'd try, just as a matter of practice, try relying on your ceiling balls a little bit less in practice, and trying to go for shooting passes in those situations where you would hit ceiling balls. Hit passes instead. That will help your game a lot. So what are the top things here, the top takeaways? Number one is to be more aggressive, like I was just saying. Look for hard passes, less ceiling balls. Then number two is the thing that we talked about at the very beginning, is ironing out your wrist snap and getting your swing and your contact to be nice and smooth and flat. That's going to make such a big difference. It's going to improve your serves. It's going to improve your down the line passes. It's going to give you a lot of power because everything else is already there. You got everything else ready to go to have a nice, powerful stroke. You're just missing that wrist snap component. So if we're ever working on the court together, I can help you finding that wrist snap and doing some exercises to get the wrist snap going. Okay, thanks, Miguel. Thanks for the video. I hope you were able to take something away from this. Good luck